Greetings, blessed love, and a mighty royal welcome to my channel. This is I Am, Life and Light Productions. And Just Sparks, I am your host. Do welcome once again to each and every one. Give thanks to the Isdem Royal Presence. For the Isdem Presence is the gift, and that gift is the life that we all share. So we give thanks one to another for being, for presence. Yeah. For perseverance, for diligence, for love and unity and prosperity. We do give thanks. Yes, mighty art of Sabbath remembrance to each and every eye. Remembering that the Sabbath is a state of mind, a conscious state of being, where you are dwelling in your desires fulfilled. Besides, 6 days shall you work, and the 7th day shall you rest. Besides, so you do all your work, all your meditation, all your visualization, till it feels real to you, and then you rest in the state of having it until it becomes your reality. So we do give thanks, we give thanks for this blessed 7th day, because, in the world right now where we have to be working 5-6 days, we need a day of rest, and today is that day of rest where we can really dwell in our state fulfilled for the whole day, just in calm serenity, calm, peaceful serenity all day long, knowing that all that you desire, need, and want is already met. So we give thanks again, Today I want to reason on quite a few things, First and foremost, I want to reason about wives and husbands, that the wives must be in utter subjection under their husband. You know what I'm saying? I make no mistake about it. Utter subjection. No room for error. No room for faultiness. And I also want to speak about the system. The system that we are so-called fighting. We have to understand what this system is, what this matrix is. So, give thanks once again for the Isdem Royal Presence. Let's go. Wives must be in utter subjection under their husband. Right? Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that, the female man, what we call woman, must be in utter subjection under I, the man, that whatever I say they must do, and such and such and such, and they mustn't answer back or raise the voice or whatever the case may be. They mustn't have their own personality. They mustn't have their own expression. They must be subject to me. That is not what I mean. You see it? What I mean when I say wives must be in utter subjection under their husband, it means that your emotions, which is your wife, must be in utter subjection under your intellect, which is your imagination. Yes, right? You see, we're living in a world today where the system has changed things around. They have us believing that we're living in a male dominant or a masculine dominant society. Yes, right? And there is no regards to the feminine gender, or the feminine aspect of creation. Yes, right? But in actuality, the masses of the people are taught to live in their feminine energy as apart from their masculine energy. And therefore, their wives are now in utter rule and control over their husband. You see it? And that is causing a whole heap of disturbance right here in the physical plane. Yes, right? Now, what I mean by that? I mean that people are ruled by their feelings, their emotions, more so than their intellect, their thoughts. Yes, right? They will have a thought, but they will move off of how they feel towards that thought. Yes, right? And that creates a problem. Yes, right? Because the feelings them that we are having are coming from our subconscious mind, right? Our subconscious mind is our place of memory, right? And it is there, the things that are in remembrance there are due to former conscious reasoning. So everything in the subconscious mind, all our feelings that we're acting off of, was placed there by our conscious mind. You see the problem? So if our conscious mind is placing the things them that we are actually vibrating and living off of and creating in our reality, we must be more attentive to our conscious mind, what we're thinking. Yes, right? And then we have to be able to apply the right emotion to the thought. Because a lot of people just thinking maybe, well, it's just you have a positive thought and that's it. And then you will manifest what you desire in your life, but it is not so. When you have that positive thought, you have to have the positive feeling with it. It has to be coupled. They have to be married. The husband, which is the intellect or the light, must be married to the female, to the wife, which is the emotion or the vibration or sound. Because creation is created through light and sound. And our body is an instrument of light and sound, which we, the consciousness, the creator, the all living, is utilizing to create for ourselves the experience that we desire to experience. So it's very important that we have our wives, which is our emotions, our feelings, in utter subjection under our intellectual mind, our imagination. And when we do this, we can sit down and think of the greatest life that we want to live in thought, call it forth, draw the image to us. And when we bring the image, we apply the right feeling to that image, the feeling of having it, the feeling of it fulfilled. And when we do that, we rest, enter the Sabbath. Yes, right. And this is the way of creation. But the world is run on feelings. How I want feel. He make me feel, she make me feel, they make me feel, this make me feel, that make me feel. Oh, I want to feel like this, I want to feel like that. Emotions, emotionally driven. Emotionally driven. That's why they made a separation in the beginning between male and female. You see it. When the Most High, or the very word, created man, which was male and female, is man. Woman came after. That is them got overs the woman and how the woman came into being. Because they tell you that Adam, which is the man, male and female, was brought all the animals and things of creation before him, put forth before him. And he labeled them all, he named them all. And after he labeled them all, he said there is no meat, not a meat, you don't find one, that was created for him. Yes, right? So it says that the Most High put him in a deep sleep, and out of his rib create woman. You see it? Now, out of the rib, which is the woman that was created, is the feeling. The deep sleep is entering into a concentrated state of imagination. That deep sleep where you're only thinking about that thing only. And then you add your feeling. Your side, which is your wife. You marry your wife. And when you marry your wife, you shall birth your child or birth your experience in creation. You know? And this is what the scriptures them is all about. You know, so we have to understand now the system and the matrix. What is the system and the matrix? The system and the matrix is a set of thoughts or principles, if you may, that is keeping us down in vibration. Is right? And those specific thoughts that is keeping us down in vibration is what was taught to us during our early ages coming up in school. The critical thinking, you know, that is one of them. Anytime you have critical thoughts, you are disrupting your core vibration and you're bringing sickness upon yourself. It's right. So the system is a set of thoughts or principles that is given by those in the higher authority or the world leaders them to the masses them for them to follow the narratives. And if we take heed to their narratives, we follow what they tell us, then we live in the reality that they desire us to live. We live in the reality of that narrative. We have to understand that this world is marvelous and majestic. You see? It's a magical world. Every being is living their own version of reality. No man is living the same reality. Though it seems like we're intermixing and intertwining with each other, yes, but we are all having our own personal experience. And it is up to us to change that experience for better or for worse. And in order to do so, we have to have our husband, which is our intellect, our imagination, in complete authority over our wife, which is our emotions or our feelings. You see, for out of the rib, you know, remember your solar plexus, you know, is covered, encased by your rib. And out of your rib cometh that vibration of feeling that you have towards the thought that you're holding. And that vibration is the signature mark of what you want to experience in your life. You see it? You know, so, yeah, we got to live up. And we got to be mindful. And we got to realize that thought, word, is everything. You see, everything starts from thought and word. Every single thing. No matter what it may be, think about it. For you to do anything, you have to first have a thought. Anything, any movement, anything. Sleep. You have to have the thought of sleeping. You see it? So we must oversee these things. And we must stop allowing the system to think for us. You know? We must stop concentrating and focusing on the system and Babylon. Because if we do, we are inviting the system, Babylon, those strain of events, experiences into our life. Because that's all they are, you know. Babylon, the system, the matrix. It's all about a sequence of events that plays out in your life. And when it plays out in your life, you identify it as Babylon, the system. Them are hold we down, them are this, them are that. When there is no such thing. It's all an illusion through the belief that was given to you by the narrative that they gave you. You see it. You know, so also I wanted to just say quickly that I have created a GoFundMe page where I am launching my first project, which is a clothing and shoes drive here in Volta region in Ghana for the youth STEM in school. You know, because, you know, I've seen children go to school barefooted, go to school with uniforms ripped and, you know, soil and, you know, this is not good for their self-esteem growing up. For they are the future leaders today. And if they are living in that way, being treated certain ways, how would you expect them to lead us in the future? They will be just as the ones them that are in power now, all for themselves. Because when they were smaller, they were victimized. They didn't have. They was classified as being this or being that and all these things. All these things create the Cain mind. And when the Cain mind is created, he starts to kill. You sight. So this is the reason for me to start this project. And I need all the eyes them with I. All the eyes them are one with I. We are all in this together. You see it? And as I say, my goal is 10,000 US, which is not much at all. You see it? Because if you check it, 1,000 people give $10. That's the goal fulfilled already. 1,000 giving $10. You see it? Many of us blow $10 in unhealthy things that is not good for us, and we are supposed to be loving ourselves. We're supposed to be loving each other. Yeah, we have to consider these things. Remember, we was taught to be separate. We was taught to be divided. That's how they rule us, through division. So we have to now come together in unity to break that chain of division. Besides, so I'm calling the eyes them, one and all, come forward. Give what you can. 10,000 people give $1. That is the mission fulfilled right there. So call a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because all it takes is 10,000 people giving $1. We all can do this. What is $1? To help children who so desperately need it. The future depends on it. You see it? Because those situations cause low self-esteem, again, as I said. It also causes, forced and unthought out decisions and choices that may lead to catastrophic experiences in their life. Some of them grow in such poverty that now they want to come and sell their soul, do money ritual. And then it go wrong. You see them on the street walking wrong, mad. Just because they want to have. And the system that they're living in is holding them down. We can't blame them. We can't blame the youths. The youths come up and they don't know anything. You see it? Many of us don't hardly know anything. Look how long the earth has been around. And look how long we have been living. So these things must humble us. And must teach us that we must work one with the other for the fulfillment of us all. You see it? We have to reach to the youths. And this project will be ideal. Reaching to the youths and giving them clothes, free shoes, that they may dress and have self-esteem, feel prouder, feel better of themselves. When they have that self-esteem and feel better, they will remember it, they will carry it with them in life. And as they grow older to become the leaders, they will remember. And they will put out programs to help the youths like how they were helped. Because it's through memory. The children them that was abused and went through rough times, when they get older, they repeat the same thing. Very rarely they change it. More than likely, they will repeat it. People repeat history. History don't repeat itself. History is not of itself. History comes from I and I, our thoughts, our words, and our actions. You see it? So I give thanks once again for coming forward. I know the eyes them in CI, and I soon to be posting a P.O. box. I will have one in New York. I would like to also have one in Florida, where the donations of the clothing and the shoes will be sent to. You see? And the money that I am building from the GoFundMe will aid in the pickup, the packaging, and the shipping of those items to me here in Ghana. Also, for the securing of a safe distribution site and storage site for the stuff here, you know, and then we will be doing the distributions to the children them in whichever villages or schools that are needed. You see, this is a great work, and I am glad that the eyes them are part of this wonderful journey. You see it, you know, because I know all of us are loving people. We all are. You see, they tell you even the wicked man loveth his own and showeth good to his own. So if the wicked can show good to his own, they say how much more then can the Father show to us. And the Father is but our very word. So if we can believe and trust in our word that we speak, the glory that we shall receive from our very word is all there is. You see it. So this is my mission, the start, because I have many more in store for I and I to take part or to be one with, rather than take part, make it seem like a division. Let us all become one with the ideas that will lead. Yes, as I was saying, let us all become one with the ideas that will lead us into a brighter tomorrow, or better yet, a brighter today. You see, because change starts now. You know, so make your donations today. Remember, 10,000 donating $1, the mission is solved. 1,000 people donating $10, the mission is solved. So we do give thanks royally for a fulfilled mission, you know, and I give thanks for each and every eye that supports I. Much love and blessings to the eyes, them royal family, you know, because we are all looking for that, you know, that right place where we can invest our time and efforts to see positive, tangible changes, you know. So join I, become one, and let us make this possible, you know. I cannot do it without the eyes them. You see, because I am not in creation alone. So I need the eyes them, as the eyes need I, you know. One love to each and every one. Give thanks for the royal blessings, blessed heart of Sabbath once again. You know, health, strength, and prosperity to each and every household. You know, and I know the eyes them hear me sniffling and stuff, but you know, we are going through our testing, you know, our trials and our tribulations, where we learn to control our thought. As they say, let the weak man say, I am strong. Let the sick man say, I am healthy. So whenever any sickness or anything come upon you, don't look at it as, you know, a weigh me down. You know, look at it as an opportunity to exercise your faith, you see, in controlling your thought in the way of health. You see, and as you do that, you will realize that the effects of the sickness, of the cold and the flu, get lesser and lesser as you focus on health. The vibration of health rises more and more in your structure. So until such time, royal family, we do give thanks again. Whole I am.